Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, Eddie V. Thank you guys for joining us. To me on the right, I have Big Papa himself, the Red Velvet Cake, Mr. Larry Giver.
The bearded wonder, the Norwegian nightmare. We raise our hands in grace. We pray for the ones we wish we could erase. I know it's usually old music shit, but I'm sorry. It was Blue October this weekend, and that's all that was going to happen. So, you get new Blue October out of me. So.
And we got the lovely up north Butterscotch bro him, Mr. Adrian Nieto.
That is a weird nickname. I'm still not used to that.
You can't call him anything other than Connexican now. That's officially.
I actually really like that one.
Oh. Well, we have our...
I'm not even Mexican, by the way. For everyone listening, I'm not really Mexican. I just find the nickname really funny.
I was just trying to call you Caramel Connexican. He was just like, ugh. So that's why I called you Butterscotch Bro him, to make it easier. Hey,
He's
guys.
sitting there with his hand on his thigh going, hello, Butterscotch, baby.
Oh, God.
And we
Let's talk some games.
Yes. But before we get into the show, Adrian, we want to catch up with you. How's your hiatus been? We know you had a lot of conventions that you've been to. So tell us, what's been up?
Yeah, no, I've been really busy. I missed a couple of episodes. Well, not a couple, like more than a couple episodes of this. I missed the last NBC Book Club Donkey Kong Country episode. Yeah, I've been like really hard at work. I went to Calgary Expo, which is a Comic Con here, a city around about 3 hours from where I live. It was really cool. It was really excellent. I got to meet Charles Martinet. Sorry. The voice of Mario, and you can see that on facebook.com/TheFrozenMachine. So just so you can just make fun of me of how much I geeked out while meeting that dude.
Adrian,
it was just embarrassing.
I literally geeked out at home when I seen that. I was just like, yes! Like, I literally lost my mind because I was just like, I feel like I'm in, like, you're kind of in the presence of royalty right there of video games.
Yeah, and like, I'm usually very good at, like, not geeking out about stuff. Like, I try to be professional. When I went to IGN, I was like meeting a bunch of IGN people, and I was like, oh yeah, like you're all fantastic. But I tried to keep it cool, right? And then I lost it when he started talking like Mario. I was like, yeah, that's it. I can't even. It was so much fun.
Can't even contain it.
So that was Calgary Expo. A lot of really cool things happened there. Tuna Cycle was a very big hit. We got a couple of people who like really enjoyed the game to the point that they were like super fans. They came back a couple of times to our booth to play the game again and again. They brought their friends, they brought their families. It was a really cool time. Then weekend after that, I went to GDX, which is the Game Discovery Experience in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. It was a smaller venue, of course, mostly game developers and people that want to get into games. And it was insane. Like, a lot of really cool games were shown. I met so many talented people. So yeah, that was fun. And I've been just busy with Tuna Cycle, getting Death Diary that I'm trying to create for the game going, and just really hard work to polish the game as soon as possible.
That's awesome. Completely awesome. Well, guys, and we're going to get into the show, and we're going to be doing some indie watch. The news broke out about Yooka-Laylee. They released some new shots for it, talking about that they're still planning to do an October 2016 release. And they kind of talked about what the game a little bit is going to be about. Adrian, do you want to just give us a little bit more information about that?
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know or listening for the first time, Indie Watch is our little segment where we talk about indie games that are coming or that there are out. Anyway, that we're very excited about them, so we just want to talk about them a little bit with everyone. So Yooka-Laylee was founded last, I want to say October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, exactly. Was a very huge Kickstarter. A bunch of ex-Rare people started playing Tonic, and there, of course, they started making that game. Everybody got super excited. It broke records in like 48 minutes and whatnot. So, really exciting time. They finally broke the silence. They were working really hard at the game, and they just launched like a bunch of news about this game, especially the story of the game, basically, which is you are trying to save the world from. For me, this guy is Donald Trump. He just wants to destroy everything, and he's like, there's the villain. What's his name?
Capital B.
Capital B. Thank you. He is trying to take the entire world's literature for himself and make profit out of it. So Yooka-Laylee are basically infiltrating, finding the pages of all these like magical books and whatnot, and trying to stop his evil corporation. Which, you know what, I actually think it's funny how the game is based on a big corporation trying to destroy something that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Just like a certain company destroyed Rare. That.
I'm trying to figure out how Lorne Lanning does not have his fingerprints all over this, because this really that story just smells of Lorne, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like, how did he not get involved in this?
He might later. Like, they're being hired a bunch of people, right? So,
Maybe
maybe
he's busy doing more Oddworld stuff for me. So keep going on that, Lorne. Don't stop. You got.
So yeah, it was a big update that dropped this week or last week, depending on when you're listening to this. And like everybody was super excited. I read it like 3 times, and I started looking at the images, and then I watched the Kickstarter video again, and I just got like super super excited. And for the entire day while I was working, I was just listening to the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack on YouTube. I was like, like I need to get on the mood of this, and I'm super excited for Yooka-Laylee. They're still promising the release date for this year, which is very optimistic. If I'm honest, I don't know what you guys think. I think for a big game like Yooka-Laylee, 1 year release, it's fairly quick. I'm not doubting Rare though; those guys are geniuses, but it's kind of soon, I think.
Well,
I don't know what you guys think.
I think they announced that they're planning to release a demo. I read some kind of news about it, but I didn't get an actual date for it. So if that demo is out and it's promising and it gets a lot of feedback, I think it probably will make an October release, which will actually be good for the holiday for like a whole bunch of gamers, especially for Wii U gamers.
So what they are releasing is actually in July. They're releasing the toy box, which it's like this very big open area where you can basically get a feeling for the mechanics and what they're trying to do. It doesn't have any story. It doesn't have anything super fancy. It's mostly just to get used to everything, and play around, collect some stuff, and basically get more excited about the game coming later. So that's gonna drop on July. I'm super excited about that. I think it's only a Windows PC version so far, so we'll have to get a good computer, play around with that, and an Xbox controller or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that more games should have demos like that. I don't need sometimes I don't need to play a whole stage. I just need to be able to fuck around with the controls a little bit and get a feel for it to know if I'm going to like the way it handles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And you know what? I've been seeing some other Kickstarters. I saw one today. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's called Legend Maker. So the guys that were doing kind of like a Mario Maker inspired Zelda Maker, um, they launched their Kickstarter for a standalone version called Legend Maker, where you can create your own dungeons and create your own quests and whatnot. And it looks really cool. And they have a demo that you can play right now on the Kickstarter page.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, man, like, yeah, a lot of people need to start doing those things. They need to put out a demo, let people get a feel. If I like it, then I'll back it on Kickstarter. If I don't, then, well, you may not have to make this game after all.
Didn't 3D Dot Hero do something like that? Like had where you can make your own kind of world, like role playing world.
Yeah, but it came out on the PlayStation 3 and nobody cared about that.
Oh, ooh, dang, slam.
Let's be fair, Adrian's not wrong.
Ooh,
There we go.
Yeah, you thought that was going somewhere else, didn't you?
exactly.
Yeah, that took a hard right turn into Assholeville.
Wow. All right, yeah. So I'm definitely really cannot wait for ukulele to really drop. It's definitely a day one purchase for me. I don't know about you guys, but I know definitely for me day one.
I forgot to ask you guys, did you guys back there on Kickstarter or not?
I didn't.
I very rarely do anything on Kickstarter anymore. The last thing I got on Kickstarter, and I'm waiting for it for this November, is Cyanide and Happiness' Joking Hazard.
Oh yeah, that's the
card
tabletop game, right? The card game?
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually looked really cool. I wanted to back it too, but again, I'm super broke, so cool, do it.
Yeah, I just buy the game outright flat when it comes out.
No, I had to get on some of those, Kickstarter exclusive items. I won my physical special box for Kickstarter, and I won my shirt, and I won my name on the stupid credits, and I won everything.
And that's cool. I like that. I like that you give them the support. Because knowing good and well, I think if they do a Shovel Knight 2 and they do a Kickstarter for it, I think I'm definitely going to support that. Just be like, yes,
you know what?
Give it to me.
It's actually funny because I didn't know Shovel Knight was a Kickstarter game until after it's released. Mm-hmm. If I had known, I would have backed Shovel Knight. Are you kidding me? Considering how much I love that game, I have totally backed it. But
I don't know when they put the Kickstarter out, but I knew it was because when they was doing the Nintendo Direct, they was talking about it. And then once they said they were former Wayward Studios, I was just like, wait, what? Once you say former Wayward Studios and you making a game, I just want to go and help them make the game, like really Kickstarter, because those guys are super talented. And Wayward, I still love Wayward Studios. I still support them with their games that they bring out. But anyone who leads there and they're making a game, they definitely have my support.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
So, for our next indie title, it's a game called Lyn and the Spirits of Inal. It was revealed in 2011, and it was a ambitious 2D action adventure game by Bloomy Light Studios. The game takes heavy visual inspiration from Hayao Miyazaki films. So anyone who's seen Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, it had that kind of look for it. Well, the game actually got canceled, or it's kind of on hold. And it says in the story from Polygon, a few interns at the studio recently came forward and stated that they did not receive compensation for their work on the game, something that in this case is against the law in France, where the studios is based. Whether or not the sudden cancellation of the game is related to this is still unclear, but the studio issued a full statement that mentions various stories for the past few years and violent declarations against certain members of the team. The real reason may never be clear, but it's nonetheless somewhat poignant to see a project that's been in development for so long to come to a sudden stop. And then if you want to check it out, they do have a trailer on YouTube. Lyn and the Spirits of Inal. Inal is spelled I-N-A-O. In case anybody want to see it. What did you guys think about it? Because there's been a lot of Kickstarter games that have had cancellations, but the business aspect of it has really affected it. Like it's been like some really shady stuff. What did you guys think about that?
I've got some thoughts on this. First and foremost, what the fuck, France? Interns are for getting us coffee and not having to pay them. The hell, you're doing it wrong. But beyond that, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm going, fuck France and anything that they have to do with video games. Because we're talking about you, Ubisoft. I'm tired of your shit. But it looked pretty. I mean, I looked at this and I thought, I have a real hearkening back, and maybe it's just me making a weird connection, but I'm looking at it going, ooh, this reminds me of Lost Winds in really happy ways. And I kind of wanted, it makes me sad that, I'll probably never get my mitts on this, but it looked pretty, and I like pretty things. I do. But,
That's because you're a pretty thing.
I am a pretty thing, and I like pretty things like your mouth and your wife, and yeah, it got weird.
That's that
Hands on the thighs again.
That's that Indiana
Mexican. That
Indiana prettiness countryside coming out.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
I you know what? I never thought I was gonna come out in the defense of France, but Ubisoft is Canadian.
Nah, I don't know. They still time.
I thought they had. I thought it was France because I thought the owner of it.
The thing is that Ubisoft is in Montreal, yes. And they speak they speak French there.
Canadian fuckers.
Oh, okay. Do they got? Don't they have another one? I thought they had one in France and Montreal. In Canada, like they had two of them.
I think they have another studio in not in France. I think it's Germany, but it's only like an accountant type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's a shame that a game that got backed on Kickstarter was canceled because a bunch of people are,
No, they do have shit in France.
They do?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here, like Ubisoft Paris Studio.
Oh. What have they worked on then?
I couldn't tell you, but Google says that their shit exists in France.
All right, my bad, everyone.
And apparently, if you Google it, they give you an option to call their offices.
Let's just complain. Like, hey, why have the last 5 Assassin's Creed games been garbage?
Why did I get that ended in the division? How the heck you gonna just throw a level and then have me go somewhere else to get the ending? Yeah, Ubisoft.
Actually, you know what? I just discovered recently that a good friend of mine, which I went to college with, he started working with Ubisoft Montreal as a gameplay programmer, and I'm super excited for him, and I hope he does well. But I wanted to comment on his status update, saying like, "Hey, be sure that they don't ship another unfinished game." And then I thought to myself like, "No, that's really harsh. You shouldn't say anything like that."
Right.
But no, yeah, Vladimir, if you ever listen to this, good luck, man. I hope you. Well, I know you'll do great in Ubisoft. So.
Yeah, so congrats.
We're counting on you to make it better finally, to fix it.
Yeah, no, that dude is super talented, so I'm pretty sure he'll do amazingly well.
Yeah, because I don't even know.
Also, send us free copies of games.
I don't even know what's Ubisoft's... Oh, Watch Dogs 2 is Ubisoft's next game, rumored to be, I think.
Yeah.
They're doing another one of those?
There are rumors about it. We'll hear more on E3, I guess.
Yeah, because Watch Dogs was successful when it first came out, and then everybody stopped playing it because Mario Kart 8 started dominating the whole summer. So yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs was it's part of my backlog bash blowout for the summer, and that game got tore limb to limb about its graphics. Like, and it became a real story of about being tricked by ET traders, and when you get the final product in your hand. And I guess because it was so successful for sales that they just ignored everything else. And I don't know. I think they might have finished it. Finished it as a way in updating, fixing a lot of bugs and stuff. But yeah, that game got tore left and right. Like they thought they had a good hit on their hand, and it only was a hit because of that ET trailer. And then when everybody actually got it, it just got tore to shreds.
Yep. But to be fair, at this point, if you're buying a game based on just trailers, you got nobody to blame but your damn self. Because I'm sorry, how is this not the oldest shit in the book? Let's go back to anything pertaining to PlayStation 1 and go, oh my god, it looks so good, and you get it, and you're like, oh, that was a cutscene for a trailer. Huh. And we still haven't grown out of that, guys. We haven't. So if you're still getting duped by this shit, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
Of course. Everybody's now keep going to it. That Aliens Colonial Marines is a prime good example.
Mm-hmm.
So
again, I'm not feeling bad for anyone.
I forgot, how did we get to this after talking about an indie game that was canceled?
Because you were talking about Homeboy working in Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right.
Oh no, and it started because this goddamn French interns.
Oh right. So
because apparently they don't understand the concept of interns are not supposed to get paid. You're doing it wrong, damn it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get paid either when I was an intern. That was really sucky.
Exactly. So it's now your job to hire an intern who you don't have to pay and make him suffer for his work experience.
Oh, I should totally hire interns.
You're welcome.
Well,
I don't know if it's legal in Canada though.
Well, it sounds like some interns was hired at Damn Buster Studios because Homefront: The Revolution came out last week, and it's you talk about a troubled history of a game. The history of it is that Homefront: The Revolution first originated at THQ and was announced following the first game's release after the publisher declared bankruptcy in 2012, and that was THQ. Crytek grabbed the rights to the series in 2013. That same year, Deep Silver bought the franchise after owner Crytek closed its UK branch. Crytek UK had worked on the game since it was announced. Several members of that studio joined the UK-based Dumb Buster Studios, which was formed by publisher Deep Silver in 2014. That included Zala, who was kind of the head of the project. And because at the end of the game, they kind of show a credits about all who helped on it and who contribute to it. He was put in charge of Damn Buster after leaving Crytek UK, where he had led the development of Homefront for the Revolution. And the problem with it is that the frame rate is dropping. They said the PC version is still messed up. They knew that it had its problems, and now they're working on the patch to fix everything. But it's a game that was in development hell, and it got passed around so much that they said it's still playable and that you could beat it. But the reviews had just murdered the game. And definitely with Uncharted 4 coming out. And that getting good reviews and stuff.
Hey. We said that we were going to talk about
I'm just saying that
we're not. We're just mentioning that it's come out.
That those two games came out on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, and I'm just saying that Uncharted 4 got a lot of high reviews compared to Homefront, which is an open world game, or supposed to be open world. They said that it's only open world in a way that once you get done with certain things, another part opens up. but it's so linear that it doesn't feel open world. And so I know we talked about delaying games. It's supposed to be a good thing to make a game better. But when a game gets passed around in its delays, do you guys think that it's not? It shows that there's no promise for that title.
I don't think there's no promise, but I do think you should be leery. Because if a game's going to get passed from one developer, one studio to another, then you're very likely, not guaranteed, mind you, but very fucking likely that you're going to run into the issue of it's been in so many hands that each had their own vision for this, that there was no one clear driving direction making this game, one solid vision for this title throughout the course of its development, and it just kind of fucking all over. That's probably one of the biggest concerns I would have with any game that got passed around like that. And I'm not even talking about Duke Nukem, because like I said, Duke Nukem's its own unique mess that it just was never going to survive the time difference from when it was popular to now. But
I think that one was like 13 years in development, 11 to 13 years in development.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, it was 13.
Yeah,
it was 11 to 13 years past its prime, anyways, as a series.
When a game gets passed around from hand to hand, it kind of reminds me of like a bowl of popcorn. Like if you're eating popcorn by yourself, that's fine. When there's like more than 5 hands going into the popcorn, maybe you shouldn't eat anymore. It gets to a point in which you're like, maybe not. And you like, maybe in some games, maybe someone should get it and say like, maybe I shouldn't eat from this, and just like let it die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, I just wanted more of an update about the game. I'm sometimes not worried about a game being passed around, because sometimes not saying that's not my game that I'm going to play, but if I know that if it goes into the right hands of a developer, I could be like, okay, I'll wait till the reviews come out first before I even touch it or even talk about it. Because what it is now is that the backstory or the history of the game is more important from the game itself. Let's take Duke Nukem Forever. Like if they did a documentary about the history of that development hell, that would probably be more interesting than the game itself.
Mm-hmm. I'd watch that. I'd totally watch a documentary on the development cycle of fucking Duke Nukem. Like, I just want to know where it all went for 13 fucking years. Show me that story. That's got to be better than whatever game you guys did put out.
Maybe. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of like a mess when something gets lost in time like that, I think.
Well, Adrian, you're a developer, so it's probably hard making games. And of course, you definitely have first-hand experience.
You know what? It's actually funny because, like, Tuna Cycle, right? Like, you see it, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's this Infinite Runner type game, and you're Tuna rather than Unicycle. Oh, that's very funny. It should be simple enough, right? Nope, it really is not. Like, there's so many things that go wrong during game development, so many other things that you have to balance it out. I mean, it's especially for small teams. Although AAA studios are kind of different, they have way more people with hands on deck. But like, yeah, game development is not easy, and I understand some games can take a lot of time. I actually prefer when companies like take a break and work on a game for longer. Like, for example, look at Pokemon, for example, right? They took a break last year, and now Pokemon Sun and Moon are looking like beautiful. They look like really good looking RPGs, right?
Right.
So those things I'm okay with, but when it's the same looking, like the game looks exactly the same, and it's been in development forever, like just let it go. It's like the Titanic. I mean, we all hate Rose because he let Jack die, but at the end of the day, he had to die.
And even if you look at Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 14, like Final Fantasy 12, they ended up switching directors, just like Final Fantasy 14. Like they actually had to redo all of Final Fantasy 14 to make it what it is now. So I kind of could understand. Even though that's within the same company, I'm like, a title going to different directors and being in different production hands, it really gets very worrisome. Just like, what is this game going to turn out to be? You know, like if you guys, like Adrian, if you were working on a game for the Frozen Machine, like a new game that you didn't announce, and you guys were having problems with it, and you just had to let it go, and you gave it to another developer, you would probably kind of get worried to be like, well, we don't know who this developer's work is, but you know, maybe they could make it better. And if you find out that your game kept getting passed around and around, you probably would be like, what's happening to the game, our ideal of a game that we made? It's been in 4 different hands. What's going on with this game?
Yeah, no, it totally is. Sometimes when it gets so out of hand like that, again, just let it rest. It's sometimes I think people get too. Well, I mean, like making games is like kind of like making babies to some extent.
Yes.
That's gonna get really weird real soon. Bear with me
Not if you
for
think
a moment.
not if you think of it in a sexual sense. But I understand what you're getting at. It does make sense.
Everyone is gonna think in a sexual way. But anyway, no, it is kind of hard to, something that you're making, that you put your heart into, not be what the best it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you have to let it go sometimes. It's like, well, this is not really working. Just move out, cut the page, move on.
Yeah, and I feel like there are some games that like they run out of money, like they run out of budget, and they still put it out, and it feels like half a game like is missing parts, and they just put it in it together and then released it for whatever the cost. Like that's kind of how I feel like about some games, when it just be like, what the heck happened to the development? Like how, like you guys were on a good track. What the world happened?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I can kind of understand that. You put so much into it, and you ran out of money, and you done fell short. It's like, okay, well, financially responsible thing is we put a cap on this thing, and it may not be everything that we wanted, but at least it's something. We put it out and hope to God maybe we recoup some money, and maybe even do better than break even, and get to take another whack at it, and grow a little more. And
that's very true. And actually, you know what? That reminds me of like Mega Man Legends, for example, right? Like they shipped because they were running out of money, and they were like, well, yeah, we need to ship this, and it sold all right, but it became a cult classic. And now, like it's re-released on PSN, and people try to buy like a copy of it on like an actual copy of it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So it's sometimes it works out, but yeah, I mean, I guess Duke Nukem Forever is another good example of, that didn't really pan out, but maybe it will become a cult classic 10 years from now.
No. No.
No, I won't.
And I mean, and just think of it. If that was the case, then the new Doom that's out is making Duke Nukem Forever look horrible in comparison. Just like Doom's.
Because it is horrible in comparison.
Well, yeah. You know, like Doom's been away for a long time, and this reboot or that just came out. I won't say reboot. I don't really consider it as a remake or anything. This
Close
reboot
enough.
has been blowing everybody's mind because, of course, the reviews copies didn't come out. People didn't give reviews copies until the game actually came out, and they said because the online servers wasn't up yet, so they wanted to wait till the day of release. But the people who've been playing it have been falling in love with it, and if Duke Nukem Forever had got that same treatment, it'd probably still be a game that people talk about. Like, I think right now, Doom and Uncharted 4 are probably definitely going to be nominations for Game of the Year. For some people.
The thing with Doom though, that is different from Duke Nukem, is that it's been away. Like, it was away for a long while,
right.
But it's not like it was on development during that entire time. While Duke Nukem, it was on development for a long time. And, like, how many consoles generation did we jump waiting for Duke Nukem Forever? I think from PS2 to, like, mid-PS3 era?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that?
Yeah, because
honestly...
was it like 1995 or 94? Like, it was early 90s that Duke Nukem Forever was in development. Or it might have been 2000s.
Honestly, it wasn't the enormous development cycle that killed Duke Nukem, though. At least not comparatively to what with trying to compare it to Doom that just came out. No, the biggest thing is that we outgrew Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 15 years ago, we were teenagers and kids going, he made a dick joke about his balls, and suddenly 15 years later, kind of go, oh. He made a dick joke about his balls. That's not funny anymore. So
like the joke got tired.
Yeah, and Duke Nukem thought it was still funny. So it was in development for too long to be able to hit any window where it still had any cultural relevance.
Yeah,
that's where that game fell short more than anything else. That's what killed it.
Where Doom now, it's just like it's surprising people. Like, it's getting really good ratings and stuff. I think it's one of the games that it's solid in a single player, but a little wonky in its multiplayer. That's what I'm getting the vibe from it, from a lot of reviews and the people talking about it. But they're just like, it's so fast and it's so fun that it's just like addictive. And definitely with Overwatch coming out, or Overwatch actually being out, waiting to see the responses of what people say from that, because they enjoyed the beta. But I'm definitely, for now, I'm just waiting to see what the responses are going to be. What people think about that game, because like Battleborn has went silent, and that's kind of concerning to me to be, and even though this sounds like a different topic, Battleborn, just like, I thought people were so into this game. How did it go silent so quick? And that's kind of how Homefront: The Revolution is that people are talking about its performances, but once it goes silent, none of that even matters.
Yep.
Guys, I just had a really sad thought.
What?
We'll never see another Portal game again.
Why?
Because Valve can't fucking count to 3.
Valve don't even make games anymore.
They don't need to. They're making too much money.
Off of Steam.
Fucking sad. I want new Portal and I want new Left 4 Dead.
I have not tried Left 4 Dead.
Really? You
yes,
missed it completely?
I wasn't a fan of the 360.
The 360
I actually wrote a blog about how much I hate the system because I was so mad that it took 4 remakes of one system to get it right, and I was just like, I wouldn't pay $400 to get a system right, and when I have to use a trick if it works or not to wrap a system up in a towel to cool it down, no, I was just like, I'm not buying this system. Thankfully, the Xbox One is okay. I love the Xbox One. But the 360, I thought it was complete trash. And I was just like, I'm glad that the Wii kind of dominated over that system. Yes, it didn't have the third-party support like it should have, but I'm just like, I'm finding more fun on my Wii than I am on 360. And the only two
you know what, though?
Yeah.
You need to make that 2-hour trip. You need to come spend a weekend here, and we're going to get down on some goddamn Left 4 Dead. And you're like, why did I miss this? The fuck's wrong with me? You and me, dude, we're going to just marathon some Left 4 Dead. Where we're going to make this shit happen, dude. We're planning it out at some point. You're coming over. It's only 2 hours. Dude, jump the South Shore. You get here. I'll pick you up.
Well, I am going to Bolingbrook in June.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
But that's for something else. Yeah, I was just not into to the 360. I did get I got the PS3 because the online was free and I had extra money to get it. Portal 2 is amazing. I felt so bad that I didn't play when it came out. I waited for it to go to $20 because I thought the game was short and I wouldn't get into it. But I played it, sat down with it, and I'm just like, this game deserved the Game of the Year when it came out. It's amazing. It was like a perfect 10. I'm just like, yeah, this game is amazing. Left 4 Dead, I will make the trip to come down to try it.
So we need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of older titles, I want to throw out just an honorable mention because it's the one thing that I did play for about half an hour this week because I still haven't even downloaded the games that I bought that we talked about last week.
Uh-huh.
But I did pop an old favorite into my DS this week. I popped in Scourge Hive. I was like, yes. I thought about it so long, but fuck, it was good.
Oh, that game is
That was
amazing.
Metroid, and it was awesome. And if you don't have a copy, anybody, you can go out and find it for like $5 at a secondhand store somewhere because it was so much fun. It was good. The last boss was a cheap asshole, but beyond that.
It's Metroid and Zelda put together, and that game is good.
Metroid, yeah.
It would kick your tail. Don't get me wrong. It's difficult, but it's so
that shit
good.
is no mercy.
Yeah. So, well, before we go, what has everybody been playing? Adrian?
I've been playing some Dark Souls 3. I've died a lot, of course. I've been playing The Witness. That game is really creepy. And
so sad I can't play that yet.
Oh, and a lot of Counter-Strike too.
Nice. I finished Uncharted 4. Which was surprising that it's not really long. I spent a lot of time with it. I did enjoy it. It is gorgeous. And I know and don't get me wrong, Adrian, I think it does deserve Game of the Year nomination. I think it deserves it sold 2.7 million. So I am, congratulations to Naughty Dog about it. That is sold. That is sold that well. So,
but you gave it how many Yoshis though?
I gave it 3 out of 5 Yoshi coins.
But yet it deserves Game of the Year.
It deserves Game of the Year because, and I think I was thinking about it more and reflecting about it a little bit more, and I had to let go of some of the stuff and like kind of see it for what it is, and I'm not gonna give it like I'm not gonna rate it high, because I know it's an Uncharted game. But I think it deserves all the awards and the sales that it get. Like, it is a game that I would recommend to people who are getting a PlayStation 4. So, and I was thinking about this definitely at work, that I think it might be the best Uncharted, like Uncharted 4, Uncharted 3, 1 would be the third, and then 2 would be last. I was thinking about it today, but Uncharted 4, I think it's a definite. It really is good. I just can't give it high because it does the things that Uncharted is known for. But so don't feel bad, Adrian. I won't spoil anything because I think you need to experience it for yourself and see if you.
I did. I played for 7 hours straight, and I really loved the game. But we're not gonna get into that because I can be here for hours, and I actually
you don't have a
need to go.
PlayStation 4.
No, I don't. I'm poor. Are you kidding me? I went to a friend's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
But definitely keep going to that friend's house and playing it all the way through. I think you will thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for him. He's out of town. But once he beats it, I'm gonna borrow his PS4 and just play for a weekend or something.
Nice. I am working on Yoshi's Woolly World and Axiom Verge. This week. I'm just like you, Larry. I think Axiom Verge needs to be played on the Wii U.
I hate you, by the way. You're getting to play it. I'm still waiting for it to come out on my choice platform, you dick.
I don't think you would have been happy with your first playthrough. I think once it comes to Wii U, and hopefully some things get fixed, like the second screen is definitely that second screen is definitely needed. I think you would definitely enjoy it better on Wii U than the original format. Yeah, but Yoshi's Woolly World. I'm playing that for the book club. Enjoying that. It's still one of the most beautiful games ever. Just that art aesthetic is just has my heart. And I actually, the day of this recording, I actually got to sell this game to a little girl, and she got the pink Yoshi at my job, and I felt so happy because we got our new Nintendo rep. And I kind of, and not a disclaimer or anything, but we got this nice red Nintendo notebook where they got to keep their information in. And I kind of told the rep, I'm like, do you have another one of these? He's just like, I know, right? It's just like, dang it. And hopefully I could take that notebook home when it's not needed anymore because that notebook is so beautiful. I was just like, why can't Nintendo sell this? Like, there's just some stuff that the reps get that once you see it and they show off, you just be like, why Nintendo? Why don't you not put this in stores so I could buy like 10 of these and like give you money, like throw money at you? And yeah, we got the nerding it up and stuff. But yeah, so that's what I'm playing. And then next month I'll be in my backlog starting. And I cannot wait for that. That's going to be very interesting. 4 games, 2 months for 8 weeks. So
nice.
So, like I said, I got to play maybe about a half hour of Scourge Hive, and it made me happy. But I'm hoping to get to it this week. I want to get into some more Yoshi's Woolly World. I played a whole fuck ton of it right when it first came out, and I've kind of had to put it down since. But I want to share my little sappy sentimental thing for Yoshi's Woolly World. Back right about when that came out, we were waiting to find out, my wife and I, if we were going to have a boy or a girl. Mm-hmm. And so we bought one of each of the colored Yoshis, the blue and the pink. And that's how we made the announcement to everybody when we found out if it was a boy or a girl.
Nice.
I put the pink yarn Yoshi up on my wall at work over my cubicle. So,
nice. That's really cool.
And
so yeah, that was my little sappy thing.
Well, guys, that is the show. We won't keep you guys long. Wishing you guys have a great Memorial weekend and a great Memorial Day. we probably will have an episode. I don't know. We'll let you guys know, and you can know about that by joining us on Facebook at World 11 Podcast. You guys could join us there. You can email the show at world11podcast@gmail.com. That's WORLD11podcast@gmail.com. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Just look up Optional Opinion, and you will see the Optional Opinion podcast and our podcast, World 11, and get all the episodes get caught up.
Does iTunes tell us how we're doing? How are we doing? Have we gotten more than 3 people to listen yet?
No clue.
Not that I know of. I have to go on and look, and I could give you the stats later. 5-star ratings. Give our show 5-star ratings. Let us know. We want to hear what you guys think about the show and topics that we want to discuss and stuff. And show us love. That's all we ask. Show us love. Larry, where can they find you?
Find me on Facebook being ornery, obnoxious, and just a general pain in the ass. Larry is always right giver on Facebook. Leave us some comments, leave us some questions. Talk to us, interact with us on the Facebook page. I do watch that. I may not post a whole lot at the moment just because shit's really busy, but I do keep an eye on that and, kind of hope that one of the 3 people listening, will finally get bored one night and go, I could talk to a real person and they would talk back to me.
Yes. And Adrian, what's up? What's up with you? Where can we find you?
Don't find me directly because I'm very boring, but look up Defrost Machine. Go to defrostmachine.com. Follow our social media. Tuna Cycle is going to come out really, really soon, so I'm very excited about that.
Adrian's already told me about the sequel to Tuna Cycle.
Yeah. It's called Tuna Cycle.
No. I know what it's about, and I can share with you.
Oh, hey, spoilers, remember.
Why did
we talk about that after Tuna Cycle.
All I'm saying is Tuna Cycle and Mad Max in Thunderdome.
Why a game called
Gentlemen, Tuna got fucking serious.
I feel like a game called Fish Riders came to my mind, and it was like a beat 'em up of like fish versus octopus or something. Like it's a beat 'em up game. I would play Fish Riders. I would play something like that. Weird. You guys could follow me on Twitter at thatretrocode, ThatRetrocode, and I also do a show called Optional Opinion. You guys could check that podcast out on SoundCloud, iTunes, and on Google Play. Interact with us. Interact with me. Let me know. But before we go, I forgot to ask this question. And I'm giving to you, Adrian and Larry, to also think about this because I think this is going to be a good discussion. You are able to work with Nintendo making a Smash Brother game for the arcade. You have 36 characters to put into your game. Now, unfortunately, 4 of the characters have to come from the Mario series. So you have Mario, Luigi, Princess, and you have Bowser. So only those 4. You get to pick out of any other video game series to put into that game. The thing is that if you pick a series, it has to be 4 characters. So if you pick, let's say, Shovel Knight, you have to pick Shovel Knight and maybe 3 of the bosses, and that has to be from that game only. That's your 4 characters. So you're now in charge of making the other 32 characters. It's 36 characters in total. Is that right? Yeah, 36. Yeah, 36 characters in total. So 4 is already taken away. So you have 8 titles to pick from, 32 characters to make. What is your list? We want to know what you guys think. You can email the show.
Am I limited to anything that's appeared on Nintendo systems, or can I branch out of that?
Branch out anything you want to branch out.
Oh God, I just got to look at my shelf and I can put together a roster for you real quick. Let's do this.
No, not today. Let's leave it.
I know. I'm just staring at it going, I want that one and that one and that one.
So we want to know what you guys think. You can email the show at world11 podcast@gmail.com. And we want to know what you guys think, what your list would be. We're going to put it up also on the Facebook page. If you guys are following me on Twitter, I'm going to throw it up there so you guys can answer the question. And hopefully we get a lot of responses. This month, this month for MVC, we are playing Yoshi's Woolly World, so that discussion is coming up. I don't know we have the game for next month just yet, but I think 3DS one for next month, or Adrian? Okay.
Yeah.
So we will be finding
Still voting
out.
for Bit Trip again.
So we will be finding out what that game is going to be for next month, and we also have E3. I know not Skyward Sword. I know the next Legend of Zelda is going to be displayed, but we don't have no other information. So definitely, I cannot wait for after E3, and we get all the info. Hopefully, we could do a good show about that and present it to you guys. So with that, we are out. Any other announcements or anything, guys, before we go?
Yes. I'm giving you my sneak preview. I'm going to give you the first 4 characters of my roster. I'm going to go with the 4 Tetraminos from Tetris are going to be 4 of my fighters.
I can't with you.
All right.
I just can't with you. Because you would do that. Well, you know what? Now you got 28 other characters to make. Adrian, I know Larry's list is gonna be good, but I can't wait to hear yours, Adrian, because you probably have a lot, and you probably gonna be like, yeah.
I don't know. I'll really have to think about it.
Well, we know
we'll see next week.
Yeah, we know Shovel Knight is in it, so
we'll see.
And with that, everybody, we are out. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Please be safe. Spend time with family and friends. Don't drink and drive. It is Memorial Day weekend, and we care about you as our listeners. And with that, we are out. See ya.
Bye.
Good night.